For now, at least, the shaking near Pawnee, Oklahoma has stopped. How long that will last, no one knows. State officials believe their order shutting down injection wells or cutting back the amount of water being injected has reduced the frequency and magnitude of the earthquakes. But a growing body of research is suggesting our best efforts may really be just our best guesses.
The Oklahoma Corporation Commission has made major changes to their order, shutting in or requiring volume reductions in operations of saltwater disposal wells around Pawnee, Oklahoma. The area of interest now covers more than 1,000 square miles and extends over 30 miles away from the epicenter of the 5.8 temblor that shook so much of the central U.S. But in doing so, they also reduced the number of injector wells that were ordered to shut down. That was explained by Charles Lord, the head of the earthquake response team at the Corporation Commission, as taking a wider approach to dealing with man-made earthquakes.
The bathtub approach to this, everyone is adding to the bathtub, and what we're trying to do by the restriction and by the shut-ins is to stop filling the bathtub up as quickly.
The new Pawnee area of interest recognizes research that the Commission should not focus just on wastewater wells that are injecting huge volumes, but more of a regional approach where just enough water and pressure combine to cause a fault that wants to move to do so.
In general, we see this as a regional problem. We don't have direct correlation from individual wells to individual earthquakes.
Jeremy Boak is director of the Oklahoma Geological Survey. He is increasingly confident that the state's approach to dealing with man-made quakes is reducing the number and magnitudes of temblors. About 1 million barrels a day less oil and gas wastewater is now being re-injected under Oklahoma.
I'm more concerned, I think, about whether there's another one of these faults out here that was queued up and ready to go. My inclination is to worry about the one we don't know about yet, more so than about another very large earthquake in this area.
The order reducing well operations in the Pawnee area means even fewer barrels less a day being forced back underground.
75,000 was the previous average, and currently it's 35,000.
While all of this may, for now, appear to be on the right track, very little is yet known about what is really going on deep under Oklahoma. George Choi is a seismologist with the United States Geological Survey. Originally, he says, research indicated that induced seismicity occurred directly under or very near a particular injector well.
And for a long time we thought that was the case, but more recent studies have shown that earthquakes can occur quite a distance from the wells, up to 35 kilometers away from a well.
Which means an injector well more than 20 miles from the epicenter of an earthquake could be what is actually causing the quake to occur. Research by Katie Kiranen, a former faculty member at the University of Oklahoma, now at Cornell University, concluded that because Oklahoma has injected so much water underground, it could be going just about anywhere.
Depending on the volume injected and the pressures injected, that volume can expand over time. As that volume expands, then the likelihood of causing some stress change or finding a fault and causing stress change across it increases.
Choi says an example is what happens when you put the brakes on a vehicle.
We call that hydraulic connectivity, and in a sense that's what's happening in the earth too. If you have enough water, you can get an effect, even though the point of application or point of injection of water is at one spot, the reaction could be much further away.
2 years ago, the Corporation Commission contracted for a 5-year project to map the Arbuckle. Proprietary software was involved, but the creator of the software died. So far, the Commission has been unable to find anyone else who can do the work. Without an understanding of what is really going on in the Arbuckle Formation, where the vast majority of this wastewater has been dumped, leaves scientists with many unanswered questions.
This is new territory for scientists. We need to understand a lot more about the properties of rocks and how water can migrate through it and what kind of pressures can be built up.
There is growing concern that a long-held belief that fluids cannot penetrate the Nemaha Ridge and its associated fault zone may be incorrect. The Buried Granite Mountain Range runs from Nebraska through Kansas and down through central Oklahoma. The uplift also runs along the eastern border of one of the biggest current oil plays in the state, known as the Stack. But the only research project currently underway involves OGS's long-term research of putting sensitive instruments down idle injector wells to try and find out what kind of pressures there are way down there and how and where the water is moving.